basically is moving stuff from A to B, right? So we have a clear origin and a clear destination. We know where it's at and we know where it needs to go. But what about you? Do you know where you're going? So we talked in a couple of the earlier sessions about goals, and we are goal-seeking organisms. We are part of nature. Nature is always growing, always expanding. So for us to feel good, we have to grow. So the real purpose of a goal is to actually make us grow, to turn us into the person that we need to be to achieve our goal. And the other thing a goal does is gives us direction, very important, right? So for us to know the direction that we need to go in, we need to know where we're coming from. We need to know where we're at right now, right? It's a bit like a GPS. So you really have your own GPS internally. So say, for example, if you're in London and you want to go to Edinburgh, you put Edinburgh in your sat-nav. Now, you might come across some rerouting or some roadblocks or roadworks, but ultimately the sat-nav will get you to Edinburgh because that's what you've programmed in. That's the destination that you're going to. So if you're in Paris, you must change the destination in your GPS, right? Because unless you change the coordinates in your sat-nav, no matter what you do, you will still end up in Edinburgh. Okay? So you really need clarity on what you want so you can set your own direction, clarity on your goal. I can help you with that, right? There are a lot of people, a lot of my clients that start with me who don't really know what they want. So if you want to find out what you really want, then give me a shout and I will absolutely help you with that. Because the thing is, and I've mentioned this before, and I'll keep mentioning it, is that if you can think it, if the idea comes up, you can absolutely be, do, and have it, right? You just need to work out how to do it. Now, when we talk about direction, people tend to be motivated by two things. The first thing is running away from, we're motivated because we want to run away from something, we want to get away from a situation maybe. And the second way we're motivated is to get to a specific goal if we know what the goal is. Now, unfortunately, most of us are or tend to be motivated mostly by the first one, by running away from a situation. Maybe get out of a job or get away from a relationship, move away from a place where you live that you may not like. But the thing is, you take yourself with you, right? And running away from something, moving away from something, doesn't have any direction. So the problem is that you will end up in the same situation, in the same kind of relationship, in the same place to live, in the same kind of job, because you are running away and you have no direction. So it's the second one that's really going to make a change for us. So what you really want to do is focus on what you do want, okay? And then if you focus on that, you will automatically come away from where you don't want to be, right? It means that you are in control when you focus on what you do want. And then you'll end up with what you want, right? Because you're in charge and you're controlling where you're going. So the first one, running away from something, basically going to get you to Edinburgh over and over again. Whereas the second one will ultimately get you to Paris, which may be where you want to be. So away from is not a direction, and you will end up totally lost, and you will keep getting away from things for the rest of your life, which is not what you want. So rather than think how you can get away, think about where you want to go. And remember that the how is not important. When you decide where you want to go, when you decide what your goal is, the how is not important. And this is what stops most of us, is we think of something that we want, and then we don't know how we're going to do it. And then we think, well, I can't do it. But it's not true, because the thing is, the thing that you want is new, right? So you're not going to know how to do it. And the fun is that you're going to find out on your way, but you've got to set that goal first. Because when you have a destination and a direction, you will start to entertain some ideas that will start to come up that are going to show you how to do it. So ask yourself, what are you running away from? You take yourself with you, right? So turn it around. Rather than worry about what you don't want, think about what you do want. Bit like logistics, right? We're very clear on where the product is and where it needs to go. So become clear on where you are at first and where you want to be. And then you can program that internal GPS, right? Put it in your sat-nav. Because then you'll navigate all the roadblocks like you would on a real sat-nav, right? You just maybe get rerouted. Things might not kind of go how you plan them to go, but you'll just find another way. and ultimately you will get to where you want to be. So think about that GPS and what are you putting in there? That's it. That's gone quick, hasn't it? So next week, we're going to talk about pricing. And oh my God, in logistics, how much has pricing fluctuated over the last 2-3 years, right? So it's going to be a really interesting one. And I'm looking forward to seeing you there. Thanks for joining today. Reach out if you have any questions. And of course, enjoy.